Hello and welcome. I am Dr. Anil Joshi. Welcome you to my series Iconology and Temple Architecture Perspectives. In the contest, we visit different sites. We visit different temple. In India, if we see, there are lot of styles in lot of dynasties which has developed their own styles. Like you can see Vijayanagar, you can see Nike style, you can see Chalukyan style. Similarly, we are going to visit a area today which was under the Mughal dynasty, Mughal Sultanate. So here the temple architecture is slightly different, and that is what we are going to study today. It is different, it is interesting, and those who study iconology and temple architecture, for them it is definitely a different thing. It is different, but it has got its own grace, its own style, and its own beauty. We are going to analyze it in this point of view. So let's get going. The character is best described as the Nizam Shahi Deccan Sultanate. It is laid on different aspects. Like earlier, it may be a Chalukyan, or it may be by the Rashtrakutas. Then it was developed by Marathas. Again, it was modified in the Sultanate of Nizam Shahi. So you will find the effect of all these things, and basically it is because it is on the route of Daulatabad, Bidar, Bishpur and Govalkonda. So these were the dynasties for which this area was common. Moreover, lot of the trade was going on by this route. What we are seeing today, if you can see it, you can definitely make out it was earlier Hemalapanthi style or 12th or 13th century, but it was modified more so in the 16th and 7th century. It has got effect of Adil Shahi or Mughal Shahi, you can call it as, or you can call it as a Deccan Sultanate style. It is up to you to call this a style. It's a different, but it's interesting. Now when we'll see the pictures, we'll definitely analyze how beautifully it is merged. Earlier it was Hemalapanthi, and then it has stepped through the Maratha Sultanate towards a Deccan Nizam Shahi Sultanate, as you can call it. They have some peculiarities, like they had manors, they had a well, and these wells are also very interesting. They have got a typical structure. Pushkarnis you have seen is in South Indian temple. Yes, each and every Dravidian temple has got a Pushkarni. So it is one of the unique feature of it. And another interesting thing is 96 number. Now at how many places it is repeated, we are going to see it. So 96, you have to remember 96 pillars, 96 steps, 96 arches and 90 feet heights of the manors. So many places this 96 will be repeated. See, it is very interesting on this. Only in India you will find in this temple this number is repeatedly repeated. It may be because of the combination of Maratha Shahi with the Sultanate. That is the, let us come to the first step. That is the earliest foundation of this temple was by the Hemalapanthi style. You can call this either Chalukyan period or Rashtrakutas period. So in between 10th to 12th century somewhere, you can make out with the Sanctum Sanctorum that it's a big difference. It's different. You start going towards the external, you'll find the mandapas, which are again different. And if you see the surrounding, again you will be convinced that it's a unique style. So what are the key architectural traits? The pillars. Now the tall, plain, heavy pillars with minimal figural carvings. You will not find here Ramayana and Mahabharata, as you will see in most of the South Indian temple. Now emphasis here is on geometry rather than on narrative or sculptures. Beautifully they are designed. They are exactly similarity of each other. Now Shikhar is always suprastructure. It may be original or it may have gone certain modifications or restructuring. So here easily you can make out it is restructured. There is a difference between the Sanctum Sanctorum and Shikhar. Sabha Mandap you can take into the Sanctum Sanctorum, which appears to be in a similar period. Now comparatively it's plain. subdued it, unlike Nagara towers. Shikhara is simple. I am going to show you in photographs. It is painted recently. There is more emphasis on horizontal masses. Then there is very few. There is a sculpture, but they are not as many as you see in south. Therefore, more likely it is rebuilt or repaired in lateral medieval style, because the mandapa period reflecting little earlier than that of the shikharas and surrounding structures. So this is a very important thing as far as this temple is concerned. Lot of stages it has been involved. Now let's go to sanctum and iconography. Here the preceding deity is the Kamala Bhavani. It is said that it is similar to that of Turzapur, which is also family goddesses for many people, particularly that of the Marathas. So you will find here an influence of Turzapur Bhavani. Even the name itself will tell you. And since the Sultanate or the dynasty here wanted to have similar way as that of the Turzapur, they have done in this way. So she is also called, look at the name also, she is called Kamala Bhavani. She is a Shakti goddess, she is a Parvati. Basically she is a Parvati. She is in the form of Durga or in the form of Bhavani. Then closely related to Turzapur tradition, all the traditions here are that exactly similar to that of the Turzapur. So you'll find a lot of similarities. Very interesting to know. Now whatever is the changes, notable absences, there is no extensive Ramayana Mahabharata panels. Then few of the erotic figures, Mithuns are there, but they are not as many. They are very, very few, and you will have to really go into detail to find them. Then limited Dakpalas. Dikpalas, as you know, in south, they are very common. Ganas, then narrative phrases, totally absent. Because this belongs to later Maratha, it is very important as far as their own styles are concerned. That was in between 17th to 18th century. The local traditions attribute renewable to the Maratha Sardars or devotees. So they all combine here to make this marvel. A late medieval, that is the Deccan Shakti Shrine, Shakti Pitha, what is called as, representing Hindu temple architecture, adapted under Nizam Shahi, because it was politically dominating at that time, with restrained sculptures, vocabulary, then water-centric planning, and you will find here a later Maratha rituals. They are adapted for all these things. This temple cannot be understood through the Chalukyas or through the Yadava period temples alone. You will have to find out a typical style developed around these temples in this area. They are called Deccan Sultanate Hindu Interaction Zone, which makes it a historically valuable. And those who want to study, I'm going to tell them each and every step, how it differs, what are the specialities. Now if you see this portion, this is the entrance. If you see to south, there is Gopuram. This is not Gopuram. If you start coming towards the Maratha dynasty, you will find here Nagarkhana. That is to play certain instruments. But here you will find a combination. It is a door, fine. Look at the arches, and there is no Nagarkhana above, neither there is Gopuram. But if this is towards the east side, if you go to west side, that is the opposite side, you will find something different. Now we are going to come to that also. Let's see how beautifully it is seen from the entrance. You can see the temple, and it is very interesting that you can see in between, usually where there is a Nandi Mandapam or Garur Mandapam, you will find there is a lion also in the center. And if you focus from it, you can straight see the deity. Now look at this. This is another difference and glory. You can see 3 towers. Some people call this as a lamp towers or Deepastamba. Are they Deepastamba? Yes. Now we will have to find whether they are Deepastamba or not, and we are going to go in closer details. The steps inside by which you can go up, but nowadays they are closed for the safety margins. Now conventionally, a true Deepastamba or lamp tower should show functional lamp places to lit a lamp. So we are going to celebrate certain auspicious days here. On that day, it has to be available. The place has to be, or the surface has to be such a way that you can lit a lamp here. So that is a Hindu tradition, very important for it. Now, multiple projecting niches and brackets at regular vertical interval are important to keep the lamps. Sometimes there is no way from inside, so people are going from outside, they lit the lamp and then they come down. So it's not here. You will not find any place to keep a oil lamp here. They are often square or octagonal. Here it is a round, straight, rising up and a very, very high height. Usually a positioned axillary or frontal, it is where it is situated usually in front of the temple or to the side of the temple. Here you will find, I'll tell you at how many places. Now we are seeing the front of it. Now let's go to the other side also. The structure actually resembles a minar type of vertical elements due to strongly vertical uninterrupted rise with functional or without functional lamp projections. Now the emphasis here is more towards height. It is almost going into a very high. This is aligned to a tradition of Hindu lamp towers, but very typically of the Deccan Sultanate minars. Now these two you will have to analyze by yourself, which you will agree with me, whether it is the lamp tower or it is a minar of the Deccan Sultanate. That you will have to analyze by yourself. Then you will find multiple cluster towers, then 3 tall vertical towers flanking an arch gateway and not a ritual object. It is not a gopuram. But at the same time you go to the west side of it, you will find a gopuram. That also we are going to see. It is not a typical gopuram as you see in the south. It's different, but it resembles it. It may happen that somebody may call that they had taken certain ideas from multiple monuments. Now here what we are saying, the architectural identification, these are not lamp towers. Now again I am saying, you can have difference of opinion, you can analyze by yourself. They are minar-like towers, then fortified, ceremonial gateway. They are not exactly making a gateway, they are asymmetrical, they are not symmetrical, there are no niches, there is no way you can keep any lamps on it. Now this is part of, as you know, is Nizam Shahi and Deccan Sultanate. Though it was belonging to the Marathas, they were with Nizams. So you will find a combination of these two as far as temples are concerned, but they have perfectly maintained a ritual harmony. In Nizam Shahi period, there are a lot of minars were developed, and often they are in place of Deepastambhas. Now we are going towards Kamla Bai or Kamlai Mandir. This is the entrance. Now see, here usually you see is Kirti Mukha, but this here you are finding something different. And these two structures appears to be superstructure. They may not be original. We sometimes find a Lalata Bimba. Usually there is a Ganesha over it, but here we are not finding it. So Kamlai temple in that way differs from a lot of other temples. Look at the now pillars. This is the Sabha Mandapam that typically resembles an Hemarpanthi temple. So earlier it may be a Hemarpanthi temple, but look at the arches around. They are 96, again a magic number as far as this temple is concerned. See the pillars, again a magic number, that is 96 for this temple. Now here you can see the back side of it, that is the west side of it, where the Karmala town is situated. Now here if you see both the gateways, to some extent you can call, they resemble like Gopuram. They try to mimic Gopuram, but it's in a different style. You will find two Gopurams or two gateways. This is something very unusual as far as conventional or our routine temple architecture for Chalukyan or Vijayanagara style is concerned, actual Gopuram are agreed. They were invented and developed by Vijayanagara. In fact, whichever temples they completed after winning the territory, they have completed them in such a way that they will construct the Gopuram and put their style over there. Beautifully, they have maintained the harmony. Now here you are seeing the other side is the west side, there is the Karmala town to it, and here we are seeing the gateway. Now look at this. Now this usually what you find here, Nandi Mandapam in Shiva temple or Garuda temple in Sri Hari Vishnu temple. But here you are seeing three figures now which are there. Inside is a middle is a lion. Then you can see also the Nandi and Garud. That means Shaivites and Vaishnavites both were united here, and combinedly this temple is developed. Now here you will find a symmetry. They are around 8 feet tall, they are 8 feet height, and you will find a lot of places to sit there. So somehow the style resembles either Tozapur or Hemarpanthi to some extent as far as Garbhagriha is concerned. And here, can you see the middle figure? It's a lion. Now if you see from back of the lion, the window which it creates, you can see straight deity through it. It's a marvel, it's a wonder, and it's one of the beauty of this temple. Very rarely you will find anywhere else. Otherwise Nandi and Vishnu, you know. So what you have seen here, the central one was lion, the one side was Garud, and one side was the Nandi. Now look at the roof of the temples. This is very typical. This they started maybe possibly after the Hemarpanthi style, but in a way they have constructed this. There are blocks, long blocks of the stone, and then arranged in such a way that you will find this type of ceiling. Very interesting, very good, and very you can say as the pioneering. Maybe around 12th, 13th century it started. Now the main shrine as it is of basis in is Kamlai Bhavani Mata, Durga Devi. They all are the names given to the Ma Parvati. So here you will find her, but she is not in aggressive or furious mood. She is in a form of a blessings. She is giving the blessings. She is worshipped here as a family goddess. So here she is not with usual attributes, weapons, but she is with a simple in a blessing mood, and you will find really atmosphere is cooling. Now in addition to this main sanctum, there are multiple other sanctum also. As you know, Durga Devi has to have a lion as a vehicle, so it is also there, but it appears to be it is added later on. Now look at this main deity, you can very carefully observe it, and she is a blessing mood. Yes, that's correct, she is in blessing mood. And here also you can see calm, peaceful. The inside is a total Garbhagriha is totally with the stones and in a Hemarpanthi style. The iconographic expectation standing, let's call that, she is a standing goddess, she is standing Devi. Weapons are symbolic rather than her aggressive mood, because her even vehicle is not with her, it is kept or to the side. Now in addition to this shrine, now this is the main shrine, agreed, there is the additional shrines are there. They are of Ganesha, then there is one Shivalinga also, and all these things are covered in some other or in part 2, because part 1 and part 2 we have to make because of the extensive details, and we have to discuss more of the Deccan Sultanate style which was developed in this area, and it's really different. For that you will have to come to this area, but there are a lot of temples constructed in the same way. Even like Pushkaranis, they are modified here. Gopuram, they are different here, and that is what we should appreciate. And the magic number 96, which is repeated on multiple occasions. I'm sure you will see part 2 also. So with that, we are coming to end of this small presentation. I'm sure you have liked it. Till then, goodbye, good luck, and take care. This is Dr. Joshi logging off till we meet again in next video.